Last week, I got a message from one of my patients, Carol, 65 years old, living in Tucson, Arizona. She sent me a photo of her lab results and wrote just one sentence. Doctor Whitman, my body fat dropped 12%. Thank you for that breakfast. I read it and honestly laughed to myself. Not because I was surprised, but because Carol was the exact same person who sat across from me 4 months earlier and told me straight up that she did not believe breakfast could do anything for her. She had already tried everything: morning walks, cutting carbs, taking all kinds of supplements, and nothing really changed. So I just told her one thing: swap your breakfast out for what I call GLOP, takes 5 minutes, eat it every single day, and just wait. 4 months later, she texted me with that result. And what I want you to understand is that Carol is not a special case. So many of my patients in their 60s, 65, even 70 have seen similar results just from one small change in the morning. What is even more concerning is that most of us at this age are eating breakfast in a way that is quietly causing visceral fat, the dangerous kind of fat that sits deep inside your belly, surrounding your liver and your heart, to keep building up without you even knowing. A study from Harvard University, tracking more than 50,000 people over 18 months, confirmed that eating breakfast the right way can reduce visceral fat levels by as much as 34%. So in today's video, I am going to share exactly what GLOP is, why it works, and how to make it right at home in just 5 minutes every morning. Part 1. What is GLOP breakfast? All right, first, let me explain what GLOP actually is, because the first time I heard the name, I thought it sounded pretty funny too. GLOP is not a medication, it is not some expensive supplement you buy online, and it is not one of those trendy diet things that disappears after 6 months. GLOP is actually a nickname that some of my colleagues in medicine use to describe a breakfast that combines oatmeal, flaxseed, chia seeds, and fresh fruit. Sounds simple enough, but this combination creates a very specific reaction inside the body, especially in people over 55. I call it GLOP because when you mix everything together, it kind of looks like a mushy blob. But do not let the look fool you, because that messy bowl is exactly what your body needs every single morning, especially once you have passed 60. Let me walk you through each ingredient in this GLOP. First is oatmeal, the kind we all grew up knowing. But this is not the sugary, instant stuff you see in the little packets at the grocery store. I am talking about rolled oats or steel-cut oats, real whole grain oats. Next is ground flaxseed. Just 2 tablespoons a day is all you need. Then chia seeds, about 1 tablespoon. And finally some fruit, blueberries, strawberries, half a banana, whatever you enjoy. You mix all 4 of those together with a little bit of milk or unsweetened almond milk, and you have a complete GLOP breakfast. Sounds really easy, right? And it truly is. But the important part is not how easy it is to make. The important part is why it actually works. And I am going to explain that right now. Part 2, why it works. This is the part I think most of you are the most curious about. Why can a simple bowl of mush actually help you lose fat and drop it by 12%? I am not going to use complicated medical terms here. I am going to explain this like we are sitting on the front porch having a conversation. Think of your body like a furnace. When you wake up in the morning, that furnace has basically gone cold after a full night without any food. Now you have 2 choices. One is you throw in a quick burning flame, something like white bread, sugary cereal, or coffee with sugar. It flares up fast and then burns out just as fast, and you are hungry again within 90 minutes. 2 is you put in a big solid log, slow burning, steady, and it lasts for hours. GLOP is that log. The reason comes down to the fact that whole grain oats contain a special type of fiber called beta-glucan. When this fiber hits your stomach, it turns into a thick gel that wraps around the food and slows down your digestion. That means the sugar from your breakfast does not flood your bloodstream all at once, but instead gradually soaks in, more like a slow drizzle than a heavy downpour. And when your blood sugar stays steady like that, your body does not need to pump out as much insulin. And insulin, when it gets released too much and too often, is the thing that tells your body to store fat, especially belly fat. But that is just the oats. Flaxseed and chia seeds play a completely different role. These 2 seeds are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, the kind of healthy fat that an aging body really needs. A study from the Cardiovascular Center at Cleveland Clinic, tracking 1,200 patients over 55 for 12 weeks, found that people who added natural omega-3 sources, combined with soluble fiber each morning, saw a significant drop in inflammation, and their belly fat decreased by an average of 8.5% in just 3 months. Now, why does inflammation have anything to do with belly fat? Because when your body is in a state of chronic inflammation, and a whole lot of people over 60 are in that state without realizing it, your stress hormone cortisol gets released at higher levels. High cortisol means your body holds on to fat, especially around your midsection. Omega-3 from flaxseed and chia seeds helps bring that inflammation down, which brings cortisol down with it, and your body starts burning fat more easily. Now, what about the fruit in GLOP? Fruit, especially berries like blueberries and strawberries, is packed with antioxidants. I know you have heard that 100 times, but let me explain it a different way. As you get older, the cells in your body start to take damage little by little, kind of like metal starting to rust. Antioxidants are the rust-proofing coat for your body, and when your cells are healthier, your metabolism works better, meaning your body burns calories more efficiently. So the 4 ingredients in GLOP work together as a powerful combination, stabilizing blood sugar, reducing inflammation, lowering cortisol, boosting metabolism, and keeping you full for a long time. That is exactly why it works. There is one more thing I want to bring up, and that is protein. One of the biggest challenges once we hit 60 is that muscle starts disappearing faster than before. And muscle is your body's natural calorie burning engine. When you lose muscle, you burn fewer calories even while resting, and fat comes back more easily. That is why I always recommend adding a little protein alongside your GLOP, maybe a cup of Greek yogurt on the side, or a hard-boiled egg. It helps protect your muscle while you are losing fat, and that is the ideal combination for anyone over 60. Part 3. How to make it. All right, now let's get into the practical part. I am going to show you how to make a proper bowl of GLOP right at home in 5 minutes or less. No expensive blender needed, no special cooking skills required at all. Here's what you need. Number 1 is half a cup, about 4 ounces, of rolled oats or steel-cut oats. If you use steel-cut oats, you can soak them overnight to soften them up, and they will be ready to go in the morning. Number 2 is 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed, which you can find pre-ground at any grocery store. Just keep it in the fridge after you open the bag. Number 3 is 1 tablespoon of chia seeds. No need to grind these, you can leave them whole. Number 4 is about half a cup of fresh or frozen fruit. Blueberries, strawberries, or half a banana sliced up all work great. And number 5 is about 1 cup of milk or unsweetened almond milk. The method is incredibly simple. If you are using rolled oats, just pour the oats into a bowl, add your milk, and microwave it for about 2 to 3 minutes. Then take it out, sprinkle the flaxseed and chia seeds on top, stir it all together, and layer your fruit on top. That is it. You just made a complete bowl of GLOP. If you prefer eating it cold, you can prep everything the night before, put it in the fridge overnight, and grab it in the morning with 0 cooking involved. A lot of people call that overnight oats, and honestly, that is the most convenient method for anyone with a busy morning routine. Now, I want to share a few variations you can try, because eating the same exact thing every day does get boring. If you like it a little sweeter, you can drizzle a teaspoon of pure honey on top. Just skip the white sugar. If you want more protein, you can stir in a scoop of protein powder or a dollop of Greek yogurt. And if you want that warm, cozy flavor, a pinch of cinnamon sprinkled on top smells wonderful and is also great for blood sugar control. The single most important thing I want you to remember is do not add sugar to your GLOP, because sugar is the one thing that completely undoes everything this breakfast is trying to do. Also, try to eat your GLOP within 1 hour of waking up. The longer you wait without eating, the more your blood sugar starts to wobble, and by the time you finally do eat, your hunger will be much harder to control. One last thing in this section, and that is about portion size. Even though GLOP is very good for you, do not overdo it. Half a cup of oats is plenty for one breakfast, and your fruit should take up about a quarter of the bowl. The whole meal comes in at around 350 to 400 calories, which is enough to keep you comfortably full all the way to lunch without feeling heavy or sluggish. Part 4. Don't skip breakfast. I know a lot of you right now are thinking, okay, this sounds nice, but I have been skipping breakfast for decades and I feel fine. And my honest answer to that is, you are not fine, you just have not seen the full picture yet. I want to use this part to be straight with you about what skipping breakfast actually does to your body, especially after 60. When you wake up in the morning, your body has already been fasting for about 7 to 9 hours. That is a long stretch. Your brain, your heart, every organ in your body is waiting for fuel to start the day. If you do not eat anything or you just have a cup of coffee, your body shifts into emergency mode and it starts breaking down your muscle tissue for energy. Not fat, muscle. That means you are slowly losing muscle while the fat just sits there completely untouched. And as I mentioned earlier, when you lose muscle, your calorie burning rate drops and your weight becomes harder and harder to manage. And if you are someone who skips breakfast and just eats a bigger lunch to make up for it, please hear this. A study from Northwestern University tracking 700 adults over 55 for 6 months found that people who regularly skipped breakfast tended to eat 20 to 25% more than their body actually needed during the rest of the day. Our bodies cannot perfectly self-regulate. When you go hungry for too long, your brain overcompensates and steers you toward high sugar, high fat foods. That is millions of years of survival instinct at work, and you simply cannot fight it with willpower alone. On top of that, skipping breakfast has a significant effect on your mood and your energy for the entire day. I do not know how many of you have ever experienced that irritable, foggy, hard to focus feeling in the morning, but if you have, there is a very good chance the root cause is that you skipped breakfast. Low blood sugar in the morning directly affects how your brain functions, making you more forgetful, slower to react, and making everything feel heavier than it really is. When my patients start eating the right breakfast with GLOP, many of them tell me that within the first 2 weeks, they feel noticeably sharper in the morning, their mood is better, and they crave far fewer snacks in the late afternoon. There is one more thing I want you to know, and that is for anyone dealing with blood sugar issues, prediabetes, or high cholesterol. The GLOP breakfast does not just help with fat loss, it may also help improve both of those numbers. A study from the Department of Endocrinology and Nutrition at Tufts University, tracking 400 people between the ages of 60 and 75 over 3 months, found that the group eating a breakfast rich in soluble fiber and omega-3 every day saw their LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, drop by an average of 11%, and their fasting blood sugar came down noticeably compared to the group eating a regular breakfast. Those are genuinely meaningful numbers, and I do not want you to overlook them. Now, I also want to clear up something that a lot of people get confused about. Eating breakfast does not mean you have to sit down to a big elaborate meal at 7 in the morning. Not at all. The GLOP I am describing takes 5 minutes to put together, and you can eat it while reading the paper, while watching the morning news, or even standing right there in the kitchen. What matters is that you do it every day, consistently and regularly, and your body will start responding in a positive way within about 2 to 3 weeks. And I want you to remember this. You do not have to be perfect from day one. If the first week you only manage 4 days out of 7, that is still progress. If you forget to buy chia seeds and you only make it with oats and fruit, that is still better than nothing. Your body does not grade every individual breakfast like a teacher grading a test. It looks at the overall trend over time. And every good breakfast you eat is one step forward, no matter how small. One simple breakfast can change an entire day, and a good day added up over many months can genuinely change your health. That is exactly what GLOP did for Carol, and for hundreds of my other patients. Not magic, not some miracle pill, just the right habit at the right time of day. You are over 60, and you deserve to feel healthy, sharp, and full of energy. And your body is completely capable of getting there if you give it what it truly needs. Start tomorrow morning. No need to wait until Monday. No need to wait until the first of the month. Just wake up tomorrow and try one bowl of GLOP and see how you feel. If this video was helpful, please share it with your family, your kids, your siblings, anyone you care about, so they can protect their health too before it becomes a bigger problem. And if you found this useful, please give the video a like so YouTube can recommend it to more people, because there are a lot of folks out there who really need to hear this. Do not forget to subscribe so we can keep meeting up for more health tips together. I am Dr. Saul Whitman, and I hope you have a wonderful and healthy day.